you last time, but I do have a question for those of you that were with me last time. For the buyer presentation, I gave you 3 letters that represent the 3 most important skills in real estate, the 3 most important activities in real estate. Who can tell me what those were? Anybody? Anybody? Come on now.
Is
3
it
letters, 3 most important skills in real estate. What were they?
is it PPC?
It is. And that stands, who said that? That's not Greg Sumo. Who is that?
No, my name is Chloe. We just work for Greg. We're doing it in the office right now, so that's why we're all
Good
using
for
Greg.
you. So I got a couple more people than I thought I did. So what do those 3 letters stand for? First P stands for
Prospecting,
second P,
presentation,
third letter,
closing, receipt.
gold star for Chloe, did you say?
Yes.
Chloe, congratulations, Chloe. You get the first gold star of this class. So appreciate that. And today we're going to be working on that most important skill of presenting, because this is all about the presentation of the doors listing presentation, the most powerful, most effective listing presentation in the industry. I'm going to tell you why that is in a minute, but let me tell you what we're going to do today. So I got all these slides. I'm going to walk you through the process and the slides that you're going to find when you log into the My Marketing Studio, because the first thing that you have to do is you have to log into My Marketing Studio and you have to customize your presentation. Now, once you customize your presentation, you're going to want to save that as a template. We'll talk a little bit more about that, because after the first time, there are only 4 or 5 slides that have to be changed for each subsequent presentation. Okay, that's what we're going to really be focused on today. And the most important thing I want to tell you to get started is why you should use this on every single listing presentation that you go on. Now, I got to tell you, I occasionally run into a Weichert agent who will say, well, I just did it once and then I take it and I show it to people and tell them that we'll customize, this is what we do, but all this stuff will be customized to you. You don't ever, ever, ever want to do that, because it's not as effective. Weichert agents that use this correctly have an 80% success rate in actually obtaining the listing when they go through the entire presentation process. Okay, so let's get to it. First of all, I want to talk about your assignments so far. Last week was, or last session was a particularly jam-packed session, lots of information that you had, lots of assignments. So who's completed the pre-listing packet master since last time? Okay, I got a couple of hands up. Come on. Come on. All right. Only answers to this are either yes or not yet, but I will. So if you haven't done that, you got to make sure that you get that done. Shauna told me that she showed that to you, talked about the importance of it. Really important, because it's got things in there that you're going to remind the person about after you get the listing signed, after you give the presentation of things that they can do to make their house show better, make their house more appealing to the people that are going to be coming to look at it, so that they can sell it faster and get more money, which are their primary goals. Okay. You were also asked to complete the getting to know you for a sample home. How many yeses do I have for that one? Shayna did. Christy did. By the way, if you guys ever get a chance, Christy did one of the most impressive open houses I have ever seen in all my years with Weichert not too long ago. It was so good that I posted it to our Weichert Facebook group page. You can go back and take a look at that. You are also asked to take sample home pictures and room measurements if applicable for your state. Some places we put room measurements, some places we let other people do that. But who took some sample pictures so that you'd have those available to you when you get ready to customize your presentation that you're going to learn all about today? Nobody? Nobody? Come on, guys. Don't start slacking up just because it's getting close to the holidays, getting close to Christmas now. So make sure you get that done. And then you were also asked to complete an enhanced PTA. So I'm guessing if you didn't take the pictures. Oh, I got one. I got one person that did. By the way, for those of you, if you would turn on your camera, it's always better to be able to see people on the screen than to just be looking at people that are letters on the screen. So anyway, so make sure that you get that done. Really, really important, that PTA. We're going to talk about that a little bit today as well. So thanks for being here. This is the process. 3 or 4 steps, 2 or 3 visits. The reason I say 3 or 4, this starts with the initial visit, which says pre-listing package, getting to know you. Shauna told me that she shared with you that what she likes to do is she likes to deliver that pre-listing package before her first appointment and her first visit. Sometimes that works for you, sometimes it doesn't. If you do it that way, then you're going to have 4 steps and 3 visits. If you bring that pre-listing material, the pre-listing materials with you on that first visit, then you're going to have 3 steps and 2 visits. I'm going to share something that Jim Weichert told me many, many, many years ago, because we've been doing this process. We've made it better and better. Listing presentation, the doors listing presentation today is better than it's ever been. It's easier to customize and create than it's ever been. It used to be that it took somebody an hour to an hour and a half with the old tools that we had back when we had to do this on Microsoft products. But now that we've got the My Marketing Studio, it's so easy to get this done. And he once told me, he said, you know, Bill, what a lot of agents don't realize and what's really important for them to know is that a huge part of the success at getting the listing starts with that first step. That first step of going out, talking to the people, gathering information on the property, building rapport, demonstrating your professionalism and things like that. And even though this is something that Shauna covered very thoroughly last week, I'm just going to give you a couple of tips with this, because as you know from being with me for the buyer presentation, I like to throw in a few sales tips that I've learned over the years that are very effective for people. And so one of the things, and I think it not only does it help us build rapport with the customer, with the seller, but it also helps us do a better job of marketing their home and getting their home sold, is the way that we ask questions. And so one of the things that we want to do is when we get there for that first visit, we tell them, you know, I want to get to know you, want to learn more about your goals and objectives, why you're selling, where you're going, what you're going to do after you sell this home. But I also would like to ask you to do this for me. I'd like to ask you to please show me your home the way you would want me to show it to a prospective buyer. And let me tell you why I asked that question. I ask you to do that is because we know that the person that likes your home the best is probably going to like the same things about it that you do. And I want to make sure I don't miss anything important, because we also know that the person that likes your home the best is the one that's going to be willing to pay the most money for it. And that's important to you, isn't it? By the way, that's one of those, what Diane Waltz likes to talk about, a soft close or closing question. You'll remember we talked about this when we talked about the buyer presentation. Getting to the close is asking a series of easy to answer with yes questions, so that when we ask the bigger question, they say yes. So we say, like you to show it to me the way you'd want me to show it to a buyer. We know that the person that likes it the best is going to pay the most. We know that the person that likes it the best is probably going to like the same things, and that'll get you the most money for your home. And that's important to you, isn't it? And now you've got your first yes, because I've never, ever heard of a buyer saying, absolutely not. We want the lowest offer we can get. I mean, that would be silly, right? So a little thing that you can do on that first visit. And remember our Fraser example. Caring about what others care about is what caring is all about. Building rapport, making sure they know you're listening. The other thing that you do is you take your getting to know you booklet with you and your agency disclosures and things. And then here's another tip. a lot of existing agents or experienced agents, when they learn about the Weichert process for getting listings, they're a little nervous because a lot of people get listings, there have been taught to get listings on the first appointment. We believe the two-step is much more effective. That's why agents that do this the right way, the Weichert way, using all the tools and systems, have an 80% conversion rate on getting listings. And by the way, that's true of even competitive listings. Now, what do I mean by that? So you'll find, and the longer you've been in real estate, the more of these you're going to get. Some listing appointments that you go on are what we call come get me's. Like your mom calls you up and says, "Hi, honey, I need to sell my house. Come on out and sign me up." That's a come get me. As you develop a clientele, as you develop a following, as you develop a more robust sphere of influence of people that you've done business with in the past, you'll have more and more people like that that wouldn't even consider doing business with anybody else. And then there are competitive listings where maybe you're out knocking on doors, doing circle prospecting around a property that's recently come on the market or a property that's recently sold. Or maybe you call on a for sale by owner and the for sale by owner says, "Okay, well, we're willing to talk to you, but I want you to know that we're also going to talk to this company and this company and this company." That's a competitive listing. Competitive and come get me's, 80% conversion rate when you use this process. But here's the fear a lot of people have. I'm afraid that if I go out and see the property while I'm back at the office creating this custom marketing plan, creating my price trend analysis, that somebody might sneak in there and get that listing signed up before I get back. And so here's a sales tip for you. Once you're done with your initial visit, before you leave, I want you to leave with this statement. By the way, as we've talked about, I'm going to take all the information that I've gathered today. I'm going to go back to the office. I'm going to create a custom marketing plan for you and your home. And I'm going to do extensive research on the market, what properties are selling for like yours, and come back and give you a price opinion. By the way, are you talking to any other realtors? And if they say no, say, well, fine. The reason I ask that is if you happen to talk to another realtor, we're perfectly okay with that. We believe educated customers are our best customers. I would just ask that because I'm going to do all this work, don't make a commitment to anybody until you see what Weichert can do for you. Can I get an agreement on that? And they'll say, sure. Now you got your second yes, leading them up to the big close, okay? So we go back to the office, we get ready, then we come back for our second appointment to present our custom marketing plan with the portfolio, packet leave behinds, property cards, and the for sale sign, okay? Whoop, went one too far. So when we get back for this second appointment, we're here to continue building the relationship. We're going to share our agenda, what we're going to cover. So I'm going to present my custom marketing plan. We're going to talk about the pricing. I'm going to present it to you. We'll go over the price trend analysis. You're going to then close for the listing. You don't tell them that. And then we're going to do the paperwork and get our next steps lined up so that we know where we're going from here. This is what we're going to do on this appointment. Okay. Here are the steps to create your marketing presentation, your custom marketing presentation, which we call doors. Okay. This is my Weichert. You log into my Weichert Marketing Studio, or you log into my Weichert, go to Tools, open the Marketing Studio under the Print tab, and go to the listing presentation. Hopefully you have somebody in your office that can help you with this because, like I said, we're going to customize this for you and your company. And once we've done that, we're going to save it as a template so that when we go back to create one for our second and our third and our 10th listing appointment, we only have to change a few pages. We don't have to change every page in the presentation. So we're going to create a template or a master file for ourselves. The other thing that you need to know is that there's some sales skills that you need to get comfortable with. Again, we touched on these a little bit before, but one of the sales skills is really important for this step, especially what we call defer and delay. Now, what does that mean? So you come back for your second appointment, they open the door, and sometimes the very first question they ask, because you told them you're going to do this research to help them with pricing, first question they ask you when you open the door is, okay, what's it worth? What can you sell my house for? How much can I get? Okay. And you go, that's a very important question. And I want you to be assured we're going to cover that because I've done extensive research. Before we do that, I'd like to spend some time showing you the marketing plan that's going to make sure that we get the most money that we possibly can for your home, because that is what you told me was important. Correct? And you shake your head like this and they'll match your. We're going to also need to be ready for some objection handling for if we get to a point in the presentation where the person says, well, we don't want a sign in the front yard, or we don't want to hold open houses, or we don't like this, or we think it should be. And so be prepared to handle objections. Throughout the presentation, we're going to be demonstrating how we're different from other companies. We're going to be giving value statements. We're going to ask, listen, and summarize, because again, how we build rapport with customers. You'll remember I told you before, the best salespeople aren't the ones that just talk constantly. They're the people that listen to the customer and let the customer know that what's important to the customer is important to them. We have a technique called feature bridge benefit that I'm going to teach you, and we'll talk about that as we go through. And then we've already started talking about our closing skills, getting them to that all-important yes when we're ready to get our paperwork signed, okay? This is a checklist that we've created for you that you'll get when you get the presentation. It talks about the key behaviors, being prepared, and all the things that you need to do and as you go through this. So you look at these and it's building the relationship, establishing rapport. One of the things that you do, and typically you start this in the first step, but is finding common ground. Oh, you went to Ohio University. I have a cousin that goes to Ohio University. Oh, you're a golfer. I love golf. So finding common things that bond you with the potential customer, okay? And these are all the different steps: undercovering their, asking questions, getting them to talk about themselves. You remember from before, we talked about asking questions, not that are answered with one word or with yes or no, but questions that get them to open up and talk more about what's important to them, okay? Listen, summarize, paraphrase, demonstrate that you've heard what they said and that you understand what's important to them, okay? Value and service. We have to communicate that effectively, and you'll do that throughout as we present here Weichert's value story and how we're going to go about marketing their home to get them a sale on their timeline and to get them the best price and terms that we possibly can. Okay. Really important here. See this one? When they ask you to cut your commission, you politely but firmly say no. To provide all of these services, this is what we charge. And you'll get used to that. And then ask for the listing with confidence. Okay. So here's the first page of the presentation. Now, here's something that you need to know about your competition. Most agents, when they go on a listing appointment, will take with them some flyers that they did for somebody else, some brochures, some testimonials, some letters, some things like that. And they'll say, this is what I've done for other customers. This is what I can do for you. This is what people say about me. Let me tell you about me, me. Most agents' listing presentation is all about me, what I've done, and what I can do, okay? At Weichert, we put the customer first. Our presentation is customer-centric because the very first page of the presentation starts with a picture of their house and their name and their address. Okay. And there's a key reason that we do that. And that's because we've learned that when we compare me to the customer and the customer's home sale and the customer's goals and objectives, which one do you think is more important to the customer? Yeah, their goals and objectives, their home sale, and them. Okay. Now, a couple of things about this. And what I'm going to do is I told you I'm going to go through the process and then I'll give you a kind of a simulated presentation toward the end. But there are 3 different pages that you can start with. This one, picture of the house, preferred. This one, if you don't have a picture of the house, not preferred. Or this one, also with a picture of the house. The difference between this one and this one is just basically where your picture and your information goes. Okay. When you're creating your presentation, you need to pick one of these. Okay. Pick one. Those are the 3. That's how we get started. Okay. And when you sit down with them, you might say something like, by the way, I appreciate you giving me this opportunity. As I told you, I've created this custom presentation to maximize the value that we're going to get when we market and sell your home. And by the way, you have a beautiful home, very photogenic, photographs very well. That's going to be really important in our marketing. But this picture right here, I just took with my phone. We're going to actually have a professional photographer come in and we'll have even better pictures than you're going to see as I go through our presentation here with the placeholders filled in with iPhone photos. Okay. So first page of the presentation, second page of the presentation. Now we're going to, again, demonstrate that we were listening to what they told us. When I was here before, I know you told me that the reason that you're selling your house is because you've gotten a promotion and you're moving to Chicago. I know you told me that the reason that you're selling your house is that you have a child entering the 1st grade and you want to be in the Chelsea Heights School District. I know the reason and so whatever they told you, this is where we're going to paraphrase that back to them. You told me that you wanted to be moved within the next 3 months, or you wanted to have your home sold within the next 3 months. Okay. Tell me a little bit more about, I know you took me through your home because I asked you to show me the things that you like most about it. What have you liked about living here? And are there any other concerns that you might have? So we'll do that when we get to this page. And again, we can put pictures of their house here as well. Okay. We're going to talk more about their goals and objectives and telling them what we've done to make sure that we're going to reach those goals and objectives. So created a detailed analysis of your home and recommendations and have recommendations to showcase its best. I'm going to introduce you to the Weichert Way selling system that's designed to get the greatest exposure, most likely to find your best buyer, most likely to get your best price, and on your price trend analysis is a tool that we use to help you pick a price to put your home on the market. I'll show you that when we get done with the marketing program. I'll introduce you to my team, and then we'll go over all the paperwork. Sound good? And you shake your head, and they go, okay, which is another little yes that you, as you're building toward this close, okay? By the way, there are 2 different choices for this slide that you can use, depending on how many people you want to showcase on your team or how many people you have on your team. If you have a really big company that you work for, you may want to use this one and talk about more of the people that are part of your company. If you're a smaller company, you might want to use this one. And so you're going to talk about the folks that are part of your team. By the way, here in my company, Deborah Protas is our company owner. She's very involved in the community. She's not only the president of the PTA, but the chairman of the United Way. Very involved in the community, great realtor, been in the business for years and years and years, and we'll talk a little bit about our team member. Lauren Bouchel, who you see here. Lauren is our marketing and transaction coordinator. She's going to assist me in this process as I show you some of the marketing tools, some of the different things that we're going to be doing to get your home on the market and exposed to a maximum number of people. She'll be helping you out, helping us out. And of course, this guy, Bill Scott, he's terrific. He's our mortgage partner. And really important that you have a person. We found that because of all of the different programs that Bill has access to, and so you'll talk a little bit about him here, okay? And so this is the team that I'm going to be bringing to help you get your home sold. And in addition to that, we have over 30 real estate professionals other than me in our company that are going to all be motivated to help me get your home sold at the best price and the best terms for you. That's what you're looking for, isn't it? And you get another little yes. Okay. So pick one. Preparing your home for sale. As you're creating your presentation, there are 4 different versions of this. There's one with 4 pictures, there's one with 3 pictures, there's one with 8 pictures, and there's even one with 10 pictures. Okay. So these are the 2 primary. And then if you have a house that you have, huge house, lots and lots of rooms, you might want to use this. And so when you get here, one of the things that you want to do with this page is you'll put a couple of key photos that look really good. And then you might put a couple of photos that will remind the person that there's some cleaning up, some decluttering, some things that they need to do. We're in and out of our house so often that we get used to things that we don't see. And so one of the things that we as a real estate professional want to do is we want to get the seller to see their home with a fresh set of buyer eyes. And so we might put, picture of the living room, which is beautiful, picture of the pool, which is beautiful, and then a picture of the family room, which is totally cluttered and needs to be cleaned out. And then another, and so as we're looking at these, we'll talk about this and we'll say, and by the way, I'm going to give you some tips and suggestions to help you see it through the buyer's eyes and do the things that are going to make it most appealing to them. Okay. And so you talk about that here and talk about the recommendations that you're going to make. One of the most important things that many people can do, depending on the house that you're listing, is just to paint the front door. I mean, front door gets all dirty, gets scarred up, gets dings and dents in it, and just a fresh coat of paint on the front door can add hundreds of dollars in value to a house. Okay. So that's what we're going to do when we get to this preparing your home for sale. We're going to pick one of these 4 slides that's going to be that we're going to use. Here if we want to talk about virtual staging, we'll talk about virtual staging. If you've got a house that, well, if it's vacant, it's a no-brainer that you want to do some virtual staging because it makes it easier for people to see themselves in the home. If you've got a home that's got old, shaggy, tired furniture, you might want to do the virtual staging to make it look better. Now, of course, you have to disclose that it's virtually staged, but we have a vendor with Weichert called Box Brownie that even if you got a, picture with a bunch of old, dead, tired furniture in it, you can take a picture, clean that up, put it out. And you can talk about how much of a difference this makes, especially for marketing online, even though we have to disclose that it's virtual staging. Okay. Showcasing your home's best qualities. Now we've got here 3 different slides. And so we're going to pick one depending on the things that our company does, the house that we're giving the marketing presentation for. These are different things that you can do. Does everybody know what Matterport is? Have you heard of Matterport? Christy, do you use Matterport? You're muted.
Sorry. Yes, I do use Matterport.
Yeah. Will you tell everybody what Matterport is?
Yeah, it's a 3D 360. It's a tour where you walk through the house completely and you walk onto the dots and you can turn it around 360, look up and look down, basically walk through the whole entire house.
It's amazing. It really is amazing. And Matterport will help you with this floor plan and also this 3D model down here. And so if you're gonna do professional photography, now, if you're listing a really, really inexpensive house, you may not choose to do that. But for most of our listings and most of our companies, we're finding that they have relationships with local photographers. Every home is going to get its very own property website. So we'll do that. And then if we're doing videos, we'll talk about that. So, but again, we've got here 3 different options for how we're going to do this. So with 1 photo, with 3 photos, or with 6 photos. So as you're creating your master, you're going to pick one of these 3 that's going to be your go-to for most of the appointments that you're going to go on. Okay. And by the way, for those of you that are new to real estate, and I'm guessing that's the majority of you, you're going to talk about what your company does in some of these cases, not just what you do. Okay. Showcasing your home's best value. And then here, this is where we're really going to start talking about Weichert's competitive advantage when it comes to marketing. Okay. And we've got all of these different pictures to talk about. So we're going to do digital and online marketing. We're going to do social media marketing. We're certainly going to do local marketing. We're going to have, we've got our ultimate open house program. I'm going to tell you more about that and the different ways that we do pricing and offers and how we're going to handle the pricing and offers. But here's where we're going to talk about the Weichert selling system. We're going to start talking about the Weichert selling system, okay? And then we go here and we talk about the Weichert tools. So one of the most important things for you to know is how we market your home digitally. First of all, we have automated marketing campaigns. I mentioned we have 30 agents in our office. So once we get your property entered into our system, what it's going to do is it's going to automatically notify every agent in our company of this new property that's recently come to market. So they'll all know about it. Here's the other thing that it's going to do. We use artificial intelligence for this, very high tech. Very, very important today. Any company that doesn't use artificial intelligence to help match up people. So most of our agents have anywhere from 150 to 250, some even more people in their property database. Now, not all of those are looking for homes at the moment, but many of them are. So most of our agents have quite a few active buyers that they're working with. And once we enter your home into our database, it will automatically notify every agent in the company of people in their database that match your home as far as what that particular customer might be looking for. It's a great way for us to get people interested in your home very quickly. The other thing that we're going to do is we're going to create custom landing pages that we can use to market online. And we'll post it on places like Facebook, we'll post it on LinkedIn, we'll post it on other websites. But here's the other thing that we use that artificial intelligence for, and something called a property boost. First of all, I want to ask you this. Have you ever noticed that when you go online and you're looking for, I don't know, maybe a coffee maker, maybe you're looking for a bicycle, maybe you're looking for a vacuum cleaner, or refrigerator, whatever. And then all of a sudden, every website you go to, you start noticing on the side of the screen, little ads for refrigerators or coffee makers or bicycles. That's exactly what we do with your home. So people that have been on websites like Zillow, like Realtor.com, like our national website, Weichert.com, or even our own website for our company here, Weichert Realtors Premier Properties, they've been looking. Now they're online looking at something else. They might be on Facebook, they might be on Google, they might be on some totally other website, but they're going to start seeing pictures of your house on there because we're targeting people that have indicated that they might be interested in something like that. We're also going to do what we call a core property boost, where especially with regard to Facebook, we boost it to people that are looking for homes like yours, so that they're going to see it, and we'll do that, and they'll see it for days and days and days. Matching buyers, we talked about. Automated marketing campaigns, we have these set up so that whenever a new listing comes in, that matches something that a customer is looking for. It automatically sends them an email or a text message to get them to look at your home. Not many other real estate companies do that. Pretty impressive, isn't it? And you get them to say yes again. Okay. By the way, that's not the only way that we get the word out. So we're going to put it in the MLS locally. We're going to put it on our national website. Once we put it in the MLS, it's going to be syndicated to all the major real estate websites in the country. Okay. So that it exposes your home to literally thousands and thousands of additional buyers. Okay. We're connected to a vast network of real estate websites looking to find the very best buyer for your particular home. Our social media, better than just about anything you can think of. You can actually, we have our customers, our buyers, we can get them to download our website to their phone so that whenever there's something that they can search right on the phone. Okay. The artificial intelligence we've already talked about that drives buyers through all those different ways of targeting. Okay. Posts with keywords like new listing, content marketing, featuring advice, testimonials, insights, things like that. Just phenomenal. Have you ever looked for a house on your phone, or have you done any research on your phone? That's what you're going to get. Talked a lot about artificial intelligence, but let me tell you about shoe leather. So one of the things we're going to do when we get your property start marketing is we're going to rally the neighborhood. We're going to let everybody in the neighborhood know that your home's for sale. We're going to knock on doors. We're going to drop off flyers. We're going to make phone calls. We're going to hold open houses, which you'll talk more about in a minute. But one of the reasons that we do that is because we know that people that live in the neighborhood frequently, especially a nice neighborhood like yours, people that live in your neighborhood frequently know other people that would like to live in the neighborhood. And that's where some of our best buyers come from. We're also going to target and make sure we get the word out to all of the agents that do business in this neighborhood. The other thing about Weichert is there is no sign that stands out more than any other. By the way, this is an aside. You probably wouldn't use this with a customer, but I'll tell you, when I started with Weichert back in 2001, my job was to go out and find brokers like Christy Krantz, for example, like Greg Simo, for example, that had similar philosophy to Jim Weichert, that wanted to grow their business and saw that they could do that using the Weichert tools and systems. And so we would have a conversion date. So they would sign up, they would join Weichert, they would come to training, and then they would go home and they would have a big conversion. And in one day, we tried to do this as much as possible. One day, have all the old signs on properties come down and all the new signs on properties go up with the bright yellow Weichert. Okay. Amazing things happen because all of a sudden properties that they hadn't gotten calls on in weeks started getting calls because of that bright yellow sign, because everybody notices it. It's the most noticeable sign in the real estate industry. See this with the door hangers? When we go knocking on doors, we're going to take door hangers. We're going to leave if we can't talk to people. If we talk to people, we're going to give them a flyer. Okay. But we're going to leverage the brand in the neighborhood. Make sure everybody knows about your home being for sale. This one, I think, is Weichert's signature marketing program. Have y'all done open houses yet? I can't remember where that falls in the sequence. No, I mean, have you done in a Frasttrack class? Has we done the training on open houses yet? Not yet. So you'll get this. But here's the reason I call this Weichert's signature marketing program, is because when I was being recruited to come to work for Weichert, and I said, well, tell me about this. I worked for another franchise before Weichert. And my question was, so what's unique about Weichert? And they said, well, the guy that was recruiting me says, well, we have this open house program. And I was like, really? What's the big deal of that? Because here's what most agents feel about open houses, or at least used to back in the day. Waste of time, very time consuming, don't produce a lot of results. Because for most of the industry, open houses generate about 3% of their sales volume. For Weichert, 40% or more of the buyers that we sell to, we met for the very first time at an open house. It's just phenomenal. And the difference is because of the way that we do open houses, the preparation that we do in advance, the things that we do the day of, the putting out multiple signs, the notifying the neighbors, the having special open houses. One of the things that we do now is when you take a listing and you put it into the MLS, that first week that you have a listing, you have an open house 4 to 6 on Thursday afternoon. You have an open house on Friday. Now people go, Friday, but aren't people working on Friday? Well, we found that since the pandemic, with more people working from home, a lot of people, even if they go into the office, Friday's a day that they take and they work from home day, and they'll go out to lunch with their friends, and then they'll come visit your open house. Open house Thursday evening, drive time, Friday, Saturday, Sunday, that first. And the reason that we do that is because more today with the changes in buyer agency and buyer compensation and the way that buyers, agents get paid, we're finding more and more potential buyers are coming to the open house unrepresented. So you want to do open houses, really max out your open houses that first week, okay? But we invite the neighbors. We have we tell them we have a VIP open house just for the neighbors. Maybe it's 2 hours or an hour before the regular open house starts on a Saturday or a Sunday. But that gives us a good excuse to knock on the door. And when we knock on the door and we invite them to the open house, we also ask, by the way, are you folks planning on moving anytime now or in the near future? Because that's where we get prospects for even more listings, okay? But it's incredible for getting buyers for your seller's listing. The other thing that Weichert has is one of the largest, most successful corporate relocation companies in the industry. Currently ranked like 3 or 4, certainly in the top 5. But our corporate relocation company is called Weichert Workforce Mobility. Work with 40,000 people annually worldwide, and one of the top relocation companies, not just in the United States, but as you can see here, 192 companies. And by the way, I talked about one of those sales techniques, we call it fact, bridge, benefit, is so we have this huge third-party corporate relocation company that relocates primarily corporate executives and top key people within corporations when they get promoted, when they get moved from one job to another. And what that means to you, that's the bridge. So fact is corporate relocation company. Bridge is what that means to you is that we have many more affluent buyers that may be in the market for your home. And then in the presentation, you have this list of all of our corporate relocation clients that will allow us to publicize that they're our client. We have some that say, no, we don't want you to do that. We'll be your client, but we don't want you telling anybody that you know, putting it out in a document like this. But these are, so this is a partial list of companies that we do business with that could be transferring somebody to your town. Now, when you customize this presentation, if you live in like a small rural community, like I know Christy gets corporate relocation business in her town. She's in just outside of Charlotte, North Carolina. But if you're in a very small town that doesn't have any kind of corporate business and you don't recognize any of the folks on this list, you might not want to make that a part of your presentation, okay? Everything that you're seeing here, I'm showing you all the pages, but that you pick this one or this one, you pick this one of these 3, You customize the presentation. Everything in here is designed to be customized so that it works best for you. But if you don't know a good reason not to use it, I would recommend that you do use it because it could be the thing that makes a difference to your customer. Okay. So this is our corporate relocation business. This is where we're going to talk about our price trend analysis. So, Shauna talked extensively about the price trend analysis last session, right? So you guys are good with this. Properties that sold 6 to 12 months ago, properties sold in the last 6 months, properties currently on the market, all that kind of good stuff. And then design to help you get best price in terms for your home, which is what you told me that is important to you, right? Yes. And then we're going to do a recap. So we're getting close to the end of our presentation. We're going to say, so before we get into the price trend analysis, and by the way, when I told you I was going to show you all the slides. This is the way they're laid out as you create your own. Designed for you to reorder in the way that you feel works best for you. And I'm going to show you how I've reordered it, the way I would deliver the presentation when I walk you through it one more time. Okay. But before we talk about price, what we're going to do is we're going to hit this slide and we're going to talk about everything that we've talked about so far to confirm that they feel good about that. And that if we're in agreement that this is what they want to make sure that their home is marketed to the largest number of potential buyers to find the best possible buyer. And when they say yes to this, then we're going to cover our price trend analysis and talk about price. One of the simple rules of real estate is never talk about something you have no control over before you get agreement on what you have control over. We have control over the marketing plan, the marketing program, all the things that we're going to do. We don't really control the price. The market controls the price. So we want to get agreement that they like everything that we have control over before we start talking about that, which we don't really have that much control over. Okay. Now, I'm going to show you this in a different location than where it is now. So right now I'm taking you through the way you'll see it when you log into the site to start building your master. And I'm going to suggest that you move this to a different place than where it shows up in that thing. This is the entire process. I call this the roadmap to a successful sale. And it starts with us getting to know you and your home. That was our first visit. Here I am, number 2, delivering this customized marketing plan. Then number 3, we're going to talk about pricing. Number 4, we're going to talk about some recommended improvements, some staging, some things like that that you can do. We're going to finalize our listing paperwork. And then we're going to, from here, review the suite of services, which is actually part of this customized marketing plan. We're going to talk about home protection. And then we're going to sign our paperwork and get a sign in the front yard. So we're going to do steps from the first visit until the end of this second visit, get these things all taken care of. But then we've got all of these other things to do to get you to a successful closing and settlement. And when I show people this is, you'll remember there's a one that has about half this many steps on it in the buyer presentation. Again, this is icons if you prefer, or pictures like some of us old school people. I like the pictures better than the icons. Diane told me she thought these looks dated, but I like them better than the icons. You have to decide which you like better, but pick one of these two. But I call this the roadmap to a successful sale. And so we're going to talk about all the different things because, again, most people don't realize all the work that professional realtors do to get the job done. to get their home listed, to get it sold, to get it marketed, to get it buyers and moved in, to get them financed, all those things. And so you want to go through this so that they understand there is a lot of work involved. And I like this dialogue. By the way, not complaining, love what I do. I just want to make sure that you know all the things that we're going to be doing on your behalf to get you that best buyer that's going to pay the most and do it on your time frame. Okay, so we're going to move that around. And then it's thanks for giving me this opportunity. And then you get into the appendix and you got some additional things in here that are talk about the market. I looked at this. I don't know who created this. It's a little weird because first of all, your interest rate is never going to be the same as your list to price sold ratio. So, and it makes this confusing. I'm going to tell them they got to change this. But so you're going to talk about what interest rates are now and what that means. And we're going to talk about a pricing sheet and what it's going to cost somebody, how much a monthly investment is going to be for somebody to be able to buy their house, depending on how they finance. This is one of the things that we're going to talk about in our presentation, and you'll see this when we go through it the second time, is that when we did our research, what we found is that in our market, for all realtors, a home comes on the market and it typically sells within 6.25% of the list price. By the way, what I want you to know is in our company, when we put a home on the market, it typically sells within 2%. So if you have these stats and you can use these stats, this is what we call a competitive advantage. In our company, or for my personal sales, once you have personal sales behind you, when I put a home on the market, it typically sells for within 2% of the list price. And by the way, that's usually 2% more than the list price. And then you're going to have, here's median list price, here's median sales price. So this would indicate that this is a market that's still pretty hot market, okay? Well, this would certainly indicate a hot market, 16 days on the market. But this number is out of alignment with this number, because if we had average days on the market of 16 days, we definitely wouldn't have 9 months of inventory in the market. Not to put you on the spot, Christy, but because I know you best of all the people on this call, I'm going to put you on the market. Any idea what average days on the market is for you in your market now? Where is that mute button?
My cursor is always far over here on this other screen, so it's like finding it to drag it over. Yes, so yesterday I did one of these. We were at 45.
45 days on the market.
And yeah, we're getting it's climbing up to more.
Yeah.
Yeah.
And any idea what your average months of inventory is?
For actually Mooresville, and the one I did yesterday was 3.
3. So that's more in sync. So I mean, 16 days on the market, you definitely wouldn't have 9 months of inventory. But when you do your price trend analysis, you'll know what these numbers are. And so we'll talk a little bit more about that. And this is, buyer's market, seller's market. So this would indicate buyer's market, a seller's market, only 16 days on the market. This would typically indicate a buyer's market. 9 months of inventory means that's, properties are sitting on the market for a very, very long time. Okay.
Hey, Bill. Quick
Yes.
question. How do you find the month, the number of months inventory? I did the price trend analysis, so I understand the days, but how do you find that month inventory number?
Okay.
Oh,
So
you're going to talk about it now. Sorry.
well, no, this is different. So after we do this, then we're going to say, and based on all of this information that we put it into our formula, and formula tells us that the recommended price range for your house is between $739 and $759. Where would you like to start? And they go, well, $759. Okay, let's do that. And then we'll reevaluate in 2 weeks. And this is where you segue into getting your paperwork signed. Because if they go, we want to start at $759, you go, okay, you kind of closed them on the listing already. Okay. Anyway, so this is your price trend. But to get back to your question. So if you look at your multiple listing service, and by the way, in some, like where I live in South Florida, there are different market segments. So price ranges is a segment, but we also have a lot of condos and a lot of single family homes. And the average days on the market for condos is way different than the average days on the market for single family homes. And so inventory and months of inventory is. So if you look at your multiple listing service and you see approximately how many properties are currently available for sale. So let's just say, for example, we looked, and in our particular market, I'll just use really low numbers for simplicity purposes, there were 100 homes for sale. Okay. 100 homes for sale. Typically in our market, every month, 20 homes sell. That means that we've got approximately 5 months of inventory on the market. If we have 100 homes for sale and in our market 50 homes sell, then we've got 2 months of inventory. Okay. Make sense? No. Okay. 100 homes total for sale. On average, 50 homes are selling every month. 2 months of available inventory. Think of it this way. You got 10 cans of Campbell's soup on the counter and you're eating 5 a month. You got 2 months supply of Campbell's soup on the counter.
Okay, thank
Got
you.
it?
Josiah said that there's an app that I can use.
Okay, cool.
Just like everything, there's an app for that.
There's
Thank
an
you,
app.
Josiah.
What isn't there an app for these days? Okay. And then these are just some extra pages that are in here. Now, this, believe it or not, all of this high-tech stuff that we've got, this is one of your most powerful tools. Have you guys seen these? So these are, we call these property business cards or property cards. On one side is the house, the address, and a brief description of the house. On the other side is you and your contact information. And when you're doing this for you print these and you buy these cards at the business supply. They're Avery and there's a label number. You'll find out when you do in the My Marketing Studio, it'll tell you what the number is for these to print with this. But you print these and you tear them apart. And in the presentation, and I'll show you where we do this, you hand these to the seller, hand one to the seller and say, and this is something that I've created for you so that you can let people you know that your home is for sale. And I've got to tell you, sellers love these. I've never seen people light up like when you hand them these cards and they're like, oh my God. And the reality is most of the people that they're going to give them to probably aren't interested in their house. But what they're really doing is they're out promoting you. They're saying, hey, look, here's Shani. My house is for sale. And they're saying, this is the agent you should do business with. Here, my house is for sale. This is Amber's got my house listed for sale. You should do business with her. And so this is a great way for you to get the listing signed, but also get your sellers to help promote you in the marketplace. This is a thing we're going to give them for them to make a list of things that they can do. Now, in that, if you remember from what Shauna went through with you on the pre-listing package, it's got a page in there of things that you can do to make your home sell faster, make it show better, things like that. And this will be where they use this as a worksheet to make a list of the things that they're going to do. Diane says she always tells people, by the way, if you haven't had your windows professionally cleaned recently, you'd be amazed at how much more light it will let in. One of the best investments you can make as we start to market your home, because it'll pay you back way more than it'll cost you to get that done. Okay, little things like that. This you'll see as you're creating your presentation is a thing that tells you what options you need to choose. So like the cover page, there's 3 different options. My team works together, 2 different options with the 3 pictures or 6 pictures. Property or preparing your home for sale, different one that you want to choose, one of the different ones that are available. Okay. Listing packet. You want to have your mortgage pricing sheet, which is a sheet that shows nice picture of the house. Get with your lender. They should be able to provide this for you. Based on current interest rates, different forms of financing, depending on the house, it might be conventional financing. It might be conventional 10% down, might be conventional 20% down, might be VA, might be FHA. And they can create a sheet that shows this home listed for this price, this down payment, this would be the monthly payment, okay? Home warranty. When we're doing our presentation, one of the things that we want to do is have our home warranty there to talk about the importance of the home warranty. Does everybody know about home warranties? Did you guys talk about that? Have you talked about that yet? Okay, so one of the Weichert requirements is that every listing either offer a home warranty or have the seller sign a waiver that you presented it, but that they chose not to offer it. Here's why you should offer it. 2 really important reasons. Well, 3 really important reasons. First reason, it covers any problems that the seller only pays for it at the time of settlement. So if they sell their house and they go to closing and they get money, then they pay for the home warranty. And it varies by market, anywhere from $300 to $500 for the thing. And basically what it does is it's offered to the buyer that they get 1 year home warranty on their house. If anything happens to the house, the water heater dies, the air conditioner dies, something else dies, the home warranty takes care of it minus whatever deductible there is. It gives the buyer some assurance. For the seller, from the time they list the property until the time they sell the property and have a settlement, it will cover them for any problems that the house has, also subject to deductibles, okay? So it's coverage for the seller, coverage for the buyer for a year. Most importantly is last metrics that I heard, homes that offer a warranty sell faster and for as much as 3% more money than homes that don't offer a warranty. Okay. So you want to make sure you, at the end of your presentation, as you're getting all your paperwork signed, this is one of the things that you want to talk about and either get them to offer it, best case, or get them to sign a waiver. So these are the other things that you'll have in your listing packet, your contents, your disclosures, and all this paperwork, any referral forms. Like if in one of our scenarios, I said, moving to Chicago because you got promoted, and we're going to ask them to let us recommend a great realtor, great Weichert realtor in Chicago that can help them find their dream home once they get their home sold here in wherever they're moving from. Okay. And then these are just a couple other things for you to think about. I love this one. Is this a saleable listing? You know, and these are really questions for you. So are they motivated? Are they cooperative? Is it within your service area and realm of competence? Do you believe you can sell it? How is the market for this type of listing? Who's your target buyer? More than just the price that you have to think about. If you got a seller who their house is worth a maximum of $359,000 and they're demanding that you list it for $500,000 and it looks like it's about to fall down and they're not willing to make it, sometimes it's best to just pass. Okay, but this is for you to ask yourself, these are some of the things to think about. Is this a saleable listing? Okay. This is the Weichert value proposition that you have to offer. Your value proposition is embedded within the process you follow as an associate. Your professionalism and dedication to your customers and clients shines throughout each step along the way. The way you prepare, present, and price differentiates you among other real estate associates. Remember my example of Liam Neeson in the movie Taken. I want you to know I have a certain set of skills, and I will hunt you down, and I will take your listing, and I will sell your listing. And then I'll sell you a new house, or I'll send you to a Weichert agent in the town that you're moving to that will be happy to help you in the same way I've helped you here. That's your Weichert value proposition. Be the Weichert professional. Questions, comments on anything we've talked about so far? I'm going to take you back through this real quickly one more time just to hit it in the order that I would put it, and then you'll get it in the recording. Questions? Come on, somebody's got to have a question.
Okay, I'll ask one.
Thank you.
Okay, y'all said that you set up a template, so you pick like between your 2 or 3 options of 3 pictures, 4 pictures, whatever. But let's
Right.
say you have your template set and it's 3 pictures, but then you have a home and you want 10 pictures. Is it easy to change that template, or do you have to set up another template with the different, scenarios?
I'm going to say yes, but I'm going to say check with your broker because I haven't created but a couple of these.
Okay.
But I think
I mean,
so.
I figure it sort of, but
Because
it's easier than doing it from scratch.
Absolutely. You can move
Yeah.
them around.
Mm-hmm.
Is that Greg or Chloe that raised their hand? You're muted. There you go.
Neither, it's Holly.
Who?
Holly.
Hi, Holly.
Hi, can you hear me okay?
I can. You got a little bit of an echo in that big, nice conference room, but and I love the Weichert on the wall behind you, but yeah, I can hear you.
So on the preparing your home for sale slide,
Yes.
you can choose the pictures, and you were saying some nice pictures and then maybe some cluttery looking pictures. Is that actual pictures of their home?
Yes.
Okay,
So what you're going to do on that,
we would take some photos.
yeah, on that first appointment, when you go that getting to know you step, that where you're going to go through and you're going to say, by the way, would you mind showing me your house? And could I take the way you want me to show it to a prospective buyer, because you do that whole thing. And then you go through the house and you say, I'm going to take a few pictures just as to use as placeholders so I can show you in my presentation what we'll do once we get the professional photographer to take pictures. But that's a good thing to do. Like if you got a door that really needs to be painted really bad, I might put the front door in one of those pictures. And you go, so by the way, you see anything that you think might be help based on that pre-listing package that I dropped off? Do you see anything that you learned from that you might want to change here? Because I'm going to give you a couple of suggestions, but I thought I'd give you a shot first, and that I might go ahead and paint this door. By the way, here's another technique. I learned this from a friend of mine, Ralph Williams, in the real estate business. He said, as you're walking through the house and they're showing you different things, like if you see something, like you see like a water stain on the ceiling somewhere, or you see something that needs to be done, and you look at it and you make a note of it. And frequently they'll say something to you like, do you think we should fix that? And you just go, I would. Do you think we should? I would. And as you're going through looking at the different things in the house, you're not telling them that they got to do that, but if they ask, say, I would. Any other good question, by the way? Any other questions? You guys just want to get out of here, don't you? All right, I'm going to do this real quick. I'm going to stop this one. I'm going to go to my other, well, didn't mean to do that. I'm going to go to my other. Slide deck. And start. So the reason I'm going to go through this you can still see this, is I've reordered this the way that I would do it and eliminated the extra pictures. So where it says choose between these 4 slides, choose between these 2 pages, choose between, I've already made that choice. Okay. And so actually this one's not supposed to be here, this one. This is the first page. And again, you start with, as I told you I was going to do when I was here a couple of days ago, went back to the office. I've created this custom marketing presentation for your home and for your family that I'm going to walk you through to show you how we're going to market your home in order to get you the maximum possible price on the right timeline for you and your family to accommodate that move to Chicago, to accommodate that move to a new home before the baby's born, whatever it was that they told you.
Sorry,
And-
Bill, is there supposed to be a slide? I don't see a slide.
Oh, I'm sorry. Give me a second. I forget when I have to change this, it does that. Can you see it now? Can you see
Yes,
it now?
thank you.
Okay.
Yes, thank you.
Okay. Thank you for telling me that. I forgot to re-click the share button after I changed the slide deck. Anyway, so house is very photogenic. This is just a placeholder photo, as I told you. One of the things we're going to do is we're going to have a professional photographer come out and take pictures of your house. We'll give you a chance to get ready for that. By the way, after we decide what things you might want to change, but your home is very photogenic, and that's going to help us a lot. It has a lot of curb appeal. And so that's going to really help us to get your home sold all the different ways that we're going to be marketing it. So, and again, I just want to say thanks for this opportunity. I really enjoyed meeting with you a couple of days ago, getting to know you and some of your family and some of your goals and, you know, what you're going to be doing after we get this house sold. As we discussed, you know, you told me you're moving to Chicago. We've got that new job that you're going to be starting in 3 months. So we know that it's really crucial that we meet that time frame. You told me that the things that you liked about your house, I made note of that so that we could feature that in the marketing, and just anything else you've thought about since that that you would like to share with me. Anybody? Anybody want to be my seller? Okay, well, nothing else, then let's just continue. So again, here we're going to talk about goals and objectives. So detailed analysis of your home and some recommendations that I'll have for you as we kind of go through this. I'm going to, again, introduce you. I want you to understand the whole Weichert Way selling system, because our selling system outperforms almost every other company for getting homes sold at the price that the seller wants and in the time frame that the seller wants. Our proprietary price trend analysis, which is different from, again, what every other company does to analyze the market, is spot on to help you choose the right price to accomplish your goals. And then we'll go through all of the agreements and all the paperwork that we need to make sure that we get this done right for you. The other thing I want you to understand is when you decide to use me as your professional realtor, you don't just get me. I mean, I have a whole team of people that I work with. This here is Deborah is my broker and the owner of our local company here, local Weichert company here. Not only a very experienced real estate professional who's been in the business for over 18 years, but is also president of the local PTA, chairman of the United Way. I'm going to be showing you a lot of marketing materials and marketing strategies that we're going to use to cast the widest net possible to find the best buyer for your home. And Lauren here is our marketing coordinator and transaction manager that's going to be working with me on this. And then our mortgage professional, who is just, I mean, sometimes this guy works miracles. I mean, I've seen him help people be able to buy houses that they didn't think they could afford that much house because of the unique and proprietary loan programs that they have available to them. And so this is my team. And in addition to this, we have over 30 professionals in our office that are all active in the marketplace, working with people that are going to be just as motivated to help you get this home sold or help me get this home sold for you. Okay. So you got a whole team working for you, not just me sitting here with this presentation. Again, these are some pictures that I took as I was going through. We'll use of course, have the professional photographer will have much better quality pictures than this, but to feature some of the things, like you have a fabulous, beautiful kitchen here that we want to make sure that we feature. I love the swimming pool that you have here. This is a very cozy family room. Might want to tidy that up just a little bit. One of the things that we know from, if you looked at that pre-listing package that I dropped off when I was here before, it talks about some of the things that you can do to help maximize the value that you're going to get from your home. And we know that decluttering is a big part of it. If you have pets, you know, I know you have a beautiful dog. Some of the buyers that we might be bringing through, though, do have pet allergies. And so if we could get somebody to do something to help with that, to make it so it's kind of unnoticeable, that would be a really good thing. So do you see anything else here that you might like to do before we get the marketing started? And if you have a picture you might want to point at, like here or whatever, that, and those kinds of things. So one of the things I've found is really helpful is if you haven't had your windows professionally cleaned in a while, you'd be amazed how much more light you'll get in. So that's a really good investment to make. So, and I can help you with that. I've got a great company that we work with that'll help you with that. Staging, home staging is something we found to be very beneficial because we can take furniture that and put brand new furniture in a room. And we might want to do that with 1 or 2 rooms. It's a really nice, refreshing, help people feel more comfortable feeling themselves moving in based on some things from professional designers and things like that that we can do for you. By the way, we're going to do everything possible to showcase your home's best qualities. Like I already talked about, certainly the professional photography. Hadn't mentioned this yet, but one of the things that we're going to do is we're going to create a property website just for your home. And this property website that we're going to have will allow us to, when somebody comes and visits your home online, we'll be able to capture information so that we can follow up with those people to make sure that we get any interested parties out to see it in person. We're going to do that. And then love this Matterport thing that we do. We'll create a 3D model. We'll create property tours, virtual tours, and things like that. So everything that we do is designed to showcase the very best qualities of your home and to compel people to want to come and visit in person, not just visit online. All the different things that we do: digital marketing, online marketing, social media marketing, local marketing. We've got this ultimate open house program I'm going to tell you a little bit more about, our global reach, and then of course pricing. So let's start with the tools that we use to make sure that your home exposure will be maximized to the greatest number of people. Once we put it into our system, as I mentioned, I've got 30 other real estate professionals that work with my company. Once we put it into our system, it's going to automatically notify all of my colleagues. The other thing that's going to happen is, because of this unique customer relationship management program that we use that has artificial intelligence built into it, is it's going to show all of my colleagues who have anywhere from 150 to as many as 500 people in their personal database of people, some of which are currently and actively looking for homes, where we've identified what they're looking for. It's going to match your home to any prospective buyers in all of my colleagues' database, so that we can make sure those prospective buyers know about it and get them out. Okay. We have automated marketing programs built into this that are going to blast out emails to folks that have identified an interest in the neighborhood or houses like yours. Okay. The other thing we're going to do is create that custom landing page. I talked about this on the previous page, but we're going to create that custom landing page that we can use to market your home on social media and on the internet, and to target people who we don't even know who they are at this point, but who might be looking for a home like yours in a neighborhood like yours. And so to give you an idea how this works, I don't know if you've ever been online looking for, I don't know, coffee makers, bicycles, whatever. And all of a sudden you go to a completely unrelated website, and on the side you see little ads for coffee makers or bicycles. Well, that's the way our artificial intelligence program works. Once we do a property boost, it finds people that were looking for homes like yours in neighborhoods like yours and displays those on their webpage, and so that they, if they're interested, they can click and get more there. Okay. We got something called Core Property Boost. That's where we put it on Facebook and it blasted out to everybody in the area and everybody that's looking for homes like that. And then I already mentioned our buyer matching program. Getting the word out, again, targeting those online shoppers at multiple levels. So this property website that we have, when they click for more information here, it automatically captures their information so we can follow up with them. We're going to put it on our website here at Weichert Realtors Premier Properties. We're going to put it on the Weichert National website. We're going to put it on sites like our local MLS. And once we put it on our local MLS, it's going to syndicate it to all the major national real estate websites nationwide. Sites like Zillow, sites like Realtor.com, sites like the Wall Street Journal, the New York Times, and places like that. So we syndicate it so that it's exposed to people all over the country, okay, in the syndication process. And of course, the social media is really, really important. We make it so that people can easily shop for homes right from their telephone as they're driving around neighborhoods, as they're visiting open houses in neighborhoods and things like that. And everything is optimized to the mobile experience, okay? And then locally. So I talked about digital, talked about electronic. Let's talk about good old-fashioned shoe leather, what I call it. We're going to get the word out to all the local real estate professionals that do business in this neighborhood, okay? We're going to rally the neighborhood. We're going to knock on doors in the neighborhood. We're going to drop off flyers. We're going to drop off, put door hangers out to make sure everybody in the neighborhood knows that your home is available for sale. And one of the reasons that we do that is because we know that people that live in neighborhoods, especially a nice neighborhood like yours, frequently know other people that would like to live in the neighborhood. We don't want them to miss the opportunity to find their next neighbor, okay? This sign is not possible to miss. We've had real estate companies take down signs, put up this sign, and all of a sudden they're getting calls off properties that hadn't got calls off in weeks or months, okay? We're going to do mailings. And we're going to call and invite people to take a look at your home online and in person. The Weichert Open House experience, again, like none other, because when we do an open house, not only do we invite all the neighbors, either in person, telephone, digitally, we invite people in our database to come to our open houses. We invite people, go out and knock on doors and invite people to come to our open houses. And we even put out 8 directional signs like this one with balloons on top of them, so that it's everybody that's driving around the neighborhood is going to see that we've got an open house and can come to your open house. And we'll probably do 4 open houses that first week. Tuesday drive time, 4 to 6, Friday, Saturday, Sunday. And we'll even invite the neighbors to a special VIP open house on either Saturday or Sunday morning. One other thing that we have that most companies don't have is Weichert Workforce Mobility is one of the top corporate relocation companies in the nation. What corporate relocation companies do is they work with top corporations to move and transfer key executives with companies. This is a list of all the or all of our clients at Weckert Workforce Mobility that will allow us to publish that there are clients that could be moving executives to your town. Okay. These are some of the best buyers that there are because they've got a limited amount of time to buy a house. They've got plenty of money because their corporation is giving them relocation benefits. And if they match, we'll make sure that they see your home through our Weckert Workforce Mobility client roster. This is a roadmap from where we are now, which is right here, 1 and 2, 1, 2, and 3. We're talking about your custom marketing presentation and all the different steps that there are to get you to a successful closing so that you can move to Chicago and take that new job. I show this because not that I'm bragging, but I just want you to know that there's some people don't know how many steps there are involved in all the things that I'm going to be doing to ensure that we not only find you the best buyer for your home, but that we have a successful sale. Okay. And by the way, off script for now, but for you, depending on how well it's going, you might need to spend more or less time on this when you're doing this with your seller. And by the way, that's the one that you have. Here, I'm going to show this, but I'm going to also hand them a business card that I've already printed. And I said, I printed 10 of these for you to get started, and I'll move that over in front of them, hand it to them. And I'll say one of the things that our customers really love about this is that we give them these business property cards so that for anybody you know that might be interested in buying a home or buying into this neighborhood, you can share this with them. Shows your house, as you can see on one side, and my contact information on the other. So feel free to pass these out. Once you've used up these 10, let me know and I'll get you some more, as many as you need. So I know we've talked about a lot here today, but let's just recap. So again, we went through what's important to you. I think I've got that pretty close. You agree? Time frame. We're going to talk about price in a minute. What do you think about the way that we're going to market your property, all the different things that we're going to use? They'll talk about that and you go, and that's really what you're looking for, isn't it? Another little yes that we got. Next thing we need to do is talk about pricing. Okay. So as I mentioned, we have a proprietary tool called our price trend analysis. I'm not going to go through this now because I know Shawna went through this, but you talk about what it does, 6 to 12 months, last 6 months, currently on the market, all those different factors. And we come up with this where we talk about, and you'll have different numbers here. So you might have 6.9% mortgage rate, list to sold ratios, 8%, averages your market, this and this. And then we talk about how this tool and all of these components and these metrics are designed to help us select the optimal price to put your home on the market so that we can get the greatest amount of interest from the greatest possible number of buyers. And based on all of that, what the tool tells us is that the recommended listing price for your home is between $739 and $759. Where would you like to start? It's a little closing question. They go, well, can we start at $759? I go, no, not a problem. Let's start there. And then I come here and I say, by the way, here's our, and then we go through all of our paperwork and agreements and get it signed. I'm going to give you this, help you get your things done that you need to get done. I see I'm over my time. I apologize for that. Last couple of things, okay? This is where, if you go to Weckert University, this is where you can find everything. And this is your assignment. So real quickly, questions, comments on anything we've talked about? Okay, my big question for you is, who's going to use this on every single listing appointment you ever get a chance to go on? Thank you, Josiah. Thank you, Tiffany. Thank you, Amber. I can't see a lot of you. My screen got us. Here's your assignment. Practice, practice, practice. Presenting. Pick a colleague, pick a family member. You can even present this to your kids. I love Diane Waltz said by the time her kids were 10 years old, they were ready to be a professional realtor. She'd made so many presentations to them. Finish your price trend analysis after you get your comparables. Watch the training again. Watch the dialogue. And then when you meet on Friday, one of the things that Sean is going to ask you is, who did you present to? Who did you present to, or who are you going to present to? Not on this list, but from our last list. Pick a virtual platform. Once you've created this presentation, you can save it as a PDF. PDF you can present just like you can in PowerPoint. Present to yourself, record yourself, watch yourself. You'll get better and better. Thanks for being here. Last chance for questions. You've been a pretty unquestioning group, but I'm going to assume that's because I did a good job and answered most of your questions before you could answer them. Thank you for that thumbs up, Josiah. Thank you, Tiffany.
Thank you.
All right. Well, Shauna will be looking forward to seeing you on Friday. Until then, got a lot of homework to do. Thanks for being here.